Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And in this video, we're just going to do another velocity banking review. And you want to know something crazy? Do you want to know who I learned the most from when it comes to velocity banking? Well, it's kind of like that PBS slogan, viewers like you, right? Viewers like you. And what I mean by that is I actually get random emails from time to time with people's budgets and spreadsheets, and I'm blown away. I was like, I've learned so much from this, more than even my own videos and teachings, believe it or not. And sometimes people get so angry when I get when they see me talking about velocity banking. And this is what I'm going to tell you, okay? If somebody had come up to you, right? And let's just use this case, real life case study as an example, had 22 debts and $4 left over in savings, would you turn them away and say, hey, this velocity banking stuff that you're interested in learning, it's all crap. Don't learn it. Go away. You're being scammed. Would you literally tell them that? Because when I saw that email, I was like, this is the most amazing thing I have ever seen. This is the unicorn example of segregation of income. And we got to desegregate, right? We got to desegregate our income. And I'm going to go over this in a live stream. And if you don't know, this is a plug for the YouTube channel membership and live stream. We have a 99-cent live exclusive live stream. So 99 cents per month. If you want to join and have access to this live stream, which is 22 debts elimination real life case study, just go ahead and click the join button on YouTube. It's somewhere, I don't know where, but like this button, join 99 cents. And so when I saw this, I was so amazed. I was like, I was just blown away. And one of the things that I want, people who criticize the strategy is, do you understand the demographic that it's actually going to help? Do you understand that? And I say this as a person who gets random emails from time to time with people who even make as high as 10 grand a month and are struggling with debt and not explaining or understanding the context of who the best customer for the bank is. Is the bank's best customer is someone who's poor and has no income and only has one credit card? Or is it someone who makes good money and just doesn't know how to manage their debt? Right? That's the context we're trying to figure out and help this person go from 22 debts to zero debts with, I think it was a matter of 10 years that were projected. And here's the other thing, too. I get this wrong. What do I mean by that? Because in the live stream, when I did this, it took me about 16 months to get $1,000 of cash flow because we literally had started out with $4. Okay. 16 months to get $1,000 of cash flow. And then I got a letter 4 months later saying, hey, thank you so much for going over this in a live stream. My cash flow is now over $1,000 after 4 months. So I get it wrong too. Now, here's the thing. Do you want to turn away people like this from your doorstep? When I see that I can learn, not only do they benefit, but I learn from their own situations, I'm not going to turn them away. I'm not going to turn away an opportunity to learn, right? That's not what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to help people. And that's why when people like come to this channel and they get like really angry about this velocity banking subject, I was like, well, I've actually helped people. Have you? And maybe you did. Again, I don't always presume that like the people who comment and get angry, like maybe they are in a better situation than me because once upon a time, I met this older Korean gentleman, and I was like, "I'm so proud." In my mind, I was like, "I'm so proud that I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months," but I don't have any money in my checking account, right? But then this older Korean gentleman, he pulls out his phone, is like, "Oh, I got 5 commercial properties, and I got 2 million in my checking account. You want me to lend you money?" I'm like, "Dang it." No, I didn't say dang, I was like, "Dang." It was too good. It was too good. Hey, if you're like that, I'm really open to listening to you. But if you're just complaining for the sake of complaining, it's like I don't know. There are people out there who could be helped, and you have to understand who the demographic of those people are. And not only that, okay, just making a lot of money is not the issue, right? Like I literally had people who make more than 10 grand. I think two people emailed me saying I'm struggling with debt. And I'm like, all right, well. I don't know if I can help you, but let's see, what you got, right? And so, yeah, so that's really why I don't understand why people get so angry. If people, you can make people happy and go from literally $4 a month to $1,000 of cash flow in about 4 months. Why wouldn't you help them and teach them the strategy, right? And in fact, let me ask ChatGPT this. Why is it that my YouTube velocity banking haters seem to ignore the live stream I did where I helped s- somebody um, go through a velocity banking simulation that paid off 22 debts, even though that person only started off with $4 in savings? Let's see what ChatGPT says.
It sounds like the people criticizing your velocity banking content might be fixated on their preconceived notions or fears about the strategy rather than genuinely engaging with your material. They may be ignoring your live stream for several reasons. 1. Cognitive dissonance. A simulation where someone pays off 22 debts, starting with just $4 in savings, challenges their existing beliefs about finances. Acknowledging it might force them to rethink their assumptions, which can be uncomfortable. 2. Selective focus. Critics often focus on aspects of a topic that align with their doubts or fears, like potential downsides of velocity banking, while ignoring evidence that contradicts their stance. 3. Surface level engagement. Many viewers may not dive deeply into your content. If your live stream wasn't packaged or promoted in a way that grabs skeptics' attention, they might overlook it. 4. Misinterpretation of your goals. Some might think your simulation is an outlier or an unrealistic scenario, even if it was grounded in solid principles. They might dismiss it as something that wouldn't work for them. 5. Resistance to change. People who are resistant to new ideas often focus on dismissing them rather than engaging with evidence. They might avoid content like your live stream because it doesn't align with their default mindset. You could address this by creating shorter, high impact content highlighting the key takeaways from the live stream, like the $4 to 22 debts paid example, and directly addressing the common objections people raise. This might catch their attention and encourage them to reconsider.
But this was a real life case study. Let's see what we see here. Oh, this is too long. Oh no. I just wanted a short response. But how about this? Let me do this, okay? Let me do this. Why is it that my YouTube haters seem to ignore that I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months? All I do nowadays is stare at it in my videos and brag about it to boast my ego. Let's do this. Stare at the the paid off statement. All right, let's go ahead and send. Your pride as boasting, which can further alienate them. I don't try to be relatable, and I said this in other videos where it's like, well, no one is gonna do what I did. Nobody. So that's why I don't expect anybody to think what I do is realistic, right? So nothing I do is absolutely realistic. And that's the whole point of this channel. Do things that most people don't do. I stare at this thing all day to boast my ego, and then I just nowadays call myself the goat of debt payoff. So now let's just do this. We're going to do another velocity banking review. So, what is velocity banking? All it is a debt payoff strategy where you use your line of credit as your main operating account. And like I said, these days I'm so good with this debt payoff simulation. I could just go into random YouTube channels and react to them and figure out, like, hey, I think this is how it might help you. Although I don't give personal financial advice, all of it is a simulation. Kind of like Metal Gear Solid 2. I don't know if you played that game, but anyways, yeah. So in this one, we're just gonna go over a high income scenario, and I don't know if you know who the bank's best customer is. It's someone who makes money, but is simply kind of bad at managing it. Like you don't want to be so bad that you're 90 days late in payments, but you don't wanna be too good where you pay it off too quickly, right? It's kinda like Goldilocks. Like, too "Oh, this porridge is too hot," meaning you paid off your debt too quickly. "Oh, this porridge is too cold," meaning you haven't paid your debts at all and you're 90 days late or more than 90 days late. You wanna be in that sweet, sweet middle because that's where the banks want you to be, okay? So all it is a debt payoff strategy where you use your line of credit as your main operating account. And so there's only really two things we need for velocity banking. Number one is a budget, which I kind of did. And again, this is like a insane income, but we'll assume that we got a nice med student loan, right? Because there are plenty of broke doctors out there. I don't know if you knew that. There are plenty of broke doctors out there. Um, and then, so we have a budget, and then we need a line of credit as our main operating account. So we'll say this, that we have a do we need a $300,000 line of credit? I don't think so. But let me just quickly check for the sake of the demonstration. So how many credit cards do we have? Let me just quickly check. 5, 8, 15, 27, 37, 10, 35, 12, 18. And let me go ahead and add them up. $167,000 of credit card debt. Okay. So we don't need a $300,000 limit. We could just say, 175,000, make it easy. And if you want a more realistic scenario, because I always start out with the free and clear line of credit that's very similar to the credit cards, just because it's easy to understand. Again, why not join the YouTube channel? Go over the 22 debt elimination real life velocity banking case study, only 99 cents. Only 99 cents, and you join, and not only will you have access to this live stream, but I do at least one live stream a month for our YouTube channel members. That's what I do because I'm so generous. I'm so generous. Praise me and lift me up, validate me. Okay. All right. I'm just kidding. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. And again, same income, same expenses. Let me go ahead and copy these expenses. And again, this is a debt payoff strategy. So we're going to get these credit cards, student loan, auto loan, mortgage all paid off. And so and here's the crazy part, and this is where people go a little nuts, is that you're not going to have any savings, right? No savings, okay? And we're going to dump all of our money into the line of credit. So if we take a look, let's say where'd I go? Uh, right here, you could see that I practice what I preach, right? If money comes into my checking account, all it does is just get out of my checking account the moment it hits, and I just move it into the line of credit. Okay. So whether you have 2 grand a month or 19 grand a month or 200 grand a month, right? All debt is proportional to your income. So what you're going to do, or I'm not saying you yourself, I'm just saying you in general, if you're going to do velocity banking, is that when money comes into your checking account, you just move it into the line of credit. Now we got to move some debt into the line of credit, which we're gonna do, right? And so what we do, easiest way to figure out what debts to pay off is just start off with the credit cards. Obviously, you want to get rid of the high interest rate stuff, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then this will be $167,000 of credit card debt. Okay, this is a no brainer. And then I'm gonna get rid of this. So this is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then we literally went from $1,200 in savings per month to $6,595.85 in cash flow. Now, why is it that most people feel like they need to have savings is because of our social conditioning. Having some savings, especially 3 to 6 months of savings, is seen as the responsible thing, even if you have debt, which is kind of weird. Don't you? You know, it's like you need an emergency fund. Yeah, but your credit card can be your emergency fund, right? It's just a different way of thinking. Okay, that's really all it is. A different way of thinking of what is your emergency fund and what is your um, savings. And in this case, it's our line of credit. So now what we're going to do is the final step, which is going to put our entire 16 grand into that line of credit. And then we take our 9 grand expenses out. So let me zoom out here. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And we're going to take the previous month's balance plus the previous month's interest minus our current cash flow, 6595.82. And then I'm just going to take the average daily balance, multiply it by the interest rate, and then divide by 12. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste, and then copy and paste. And we see that in 28 months, this is just paid off. 28 months. Okay. So now 28 months, 167K of debt, and I need to put some goats in the section right here. And where was the goats that I had? The goat emojis. Oh, don't you love it? You can put the goats here, and just every time we got to pay off a debt, we got to put off a goat because it's an abbreviation that you're the greatest of all time. I am the goat, right? I am the goat, the greatest of all time when it comes to debt payoff. And this is me, according to Meta AI. I say, hey, Meta AI, can you draw me as the GOAT of debt payoff? I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. And then this is apparently the GOAT of debt payoff. That's why you got all the money here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. And now we got, a nice auto loan, 55,000. What is that? Like a Mercedes, a Lexus? I probably would buy a Lexus because a Lexus is probably more reliable than I think a Mercedes. And I've seen a lot of mechanic YouTube videos lately, and they all talk about how the BMW is trash because it's high maintenance, and you gotta, it costs a lot to fix. So, I don't know if probably go with a Lexus, right? You're a doctor, and you got this nice student loan. So let's go ahead and do that here, and we're gonna go ahead and actually, did I even set this up correctly? It's okay. If I don't set it up correctly, I can always redo the setup of the loan calculator. So this is 55,000 at 4%. This is 300,000 at 7%. And this is 500,000 at what percent? 3%. 437. Okay. Now, here's something that people don't really think about is that a lot of times people get super obsessed with this interest rate, right? And they call this the debt avalanche. Okay. I'm going to tell you the easiest way. And notice how I used the word easiest to figure out which debts to pay off, which is using the cash flow index method. Okay. Cash flow index. And so I have this formula right here. And so, what is the cash flow index? Basically, it's just how much bang for your buck do you get for paying off a loan. So, for example, would I want to pay $500,000 to get this 2,100 back in my cash flow? No, I don't. I'd rather probably either do this one or do this one, right? And according to the cash flow index, you take the lowest number, and then that's the loan you want to pay off. Okay. And so we're at what month are we at? 25 months. So I just put 25, 25, 25. And then as you can see, this is the lowest number. So if I focus on paying off this 33 grand, I get $1,000 back in my cash flow. Whereas if I focus on paying this 253,000, that's a bigger jump. That's much more effort to get cash flow. So even though it's a higher interest rate, and then once we tackle on the lower interest rate, get the cash flow, then we tackle on the higher interest rate, right? So we want to make sure we get our bang for our buck at the appropriate time when it comes to cash flow. And the easy, I'm going to pay this one off first because I'm going to get more cash flow um, in comparison to the balance of the loan, regardless of the interest rate, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take this one and we're going to pay off the auto loan. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so Control V. I'm going to paste this, and then this is going to be plus 33409.45. And then I'm going to just do this. And so this, wait a minute. Am I in the wrong? No, I actually came. I'm an idiot. Okay, let me just do this one more time again. All right, so 33 grand. I do so many of these spreadsheets, I get confused, right? Or I'm even at like, what plan am I on? All right, so now let's go ahead and move this 33 grand into the line of credit plus 33409.45. Okay. And then what do we do here? Well, because this auto loan is now paid off, we got $1,000 in our cash flow. And then I'm just going to go ahead and do this and put 7 grand here. Okay. And so I'm going to do Control V and I'm going to put the 7 grand. And then this is now 7608.73. Okay. Okay. All right. So now in 33 months, this is completely paid off. Sweet. So 33 months. And then this is 167 plus 55. So that's 222K. And this is our goat. And now let's tackle on the 7% mortgage. Okay. 7% mortgage. And I'm just going to go in here and type in 33 months. So 33, 33. And so now, well, actually, all right. So now, yeah, this is zero. We have $237,000 of debt on our student loan. Now, we don't want to put the whole thing into the line of credit because that might, it's probably not that efficient to move the whole thing into a line of credit, because if you look at the CFI, anything above 50 is kind of a little bit questionable to pay it off. But at the same time, one thing that might be good is that the interest rate is very similar to the line of credit. And when you move the whole thing into a line of credit and the interest rate is very similar, in my experience, that's okay. But if you want a for sure method of paying it off easy without any problems, just use the chunking method, which is just split the loan into pieces. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just show off the chunking method, and we're just going to do, how much money do we make? No, not this one. Oh yeah, we're a doctor. We'll do $17,000 chunks. So let's just go ahead and put this in here, right here. And we'll just do 17,000. What is our income? I have no clue. So let's just look back and forth. So our income is 16,200. And our expenses are everything except for the loan we're trying to pay off. So it's just these two. So it's 5108.02. So it's 5108.02. And then what's the current balance of this loan? So the current balance is, let me go in here, 237,127.83. So 237,187.03. And then the original balance was 300,000. Interest rate is 10 years. And what's the payment amount? 3483.25. 3483.25. All right. And so what's our results here? 2 years. Not bad. Not bad. All right. So now 2 years till the sucker is paid off. And, huh. So now I'm just going to go in here. This will be 0. And so that's 33 plus 24. So that's 57 months. And that's 522K. And can I get a goat in the house? Greatest of all time? Yeah? Okay. All right. So now next one is the mortgage. So in 57 months, we got to figure out the balance of the mortgages. So this is 57. So this is 0. And I'm just going to do the same thing over and over again. So now what is our expenses? It's $3,000. Okay. And so now we just do the same thing. So this is a 30-year mortgage. This is at 3%, 500,000, 500,000, and then 2108.02. So it's just 2108.02. And then our current balance is, what is our current balance? 447,507. So 447,507. 3 years. 3 years. So now we just go in here, and not this one. I'm being fooled by my own work. So this is 0. And then so it's 57 plus 36. Oopsie, 57, not 47. 57. 93 months. So it's 93 divided by 12. So 7.75 years. And that's hold on, 500 plus 522. So that's 1.02 million debt free. That's another goat for you. So, one of the things I always say is that a lot of this stuff is actually unrealistic, at least for me, because I paid off my mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. So if you take a look here, let me stroke my ego in front of you all. 2 years and 9 months, and I've never, even with this velocity banking calculator, I've never been able to pay off a mortgage in 2 years and 9 months. So take that for what you will. Okay. But yeah, okay. 3 years. Again, it's just another fun velocity banking review. And who knows, maybe I'll have so much time I'll just go over your numbers if you randomly send them to me. But that depends on how I feel, because I don't actually offer it as a service. And let me just go over here. 0, 7.75 years, and we're 1.02 million debt free. Wouldn't it be nice to be a debt free doctor? Yeah, debt free doctor. Love it. Love it. Who wouldn't want to be a debt free doctor? Maybe doctors would be a little bit more, um, I don't want to say caring. I'm pretty sure they're caring people. I'll say a little bit less jaded. And I think the reason why they're jaded is because, number one, they once they're in the system, they know they have to be there. You know what I mean? It's like, um, they got this huge $300,000 student loan debt. So it's like, I got to be there. And then not number two. And, remember all the whole debacle about the whole health insurance CEO thing. A lot of them just can't make independent decisions, almost like teachers, right? You got whole bureaucracies managing them and telling them what to do. And then by the time they figure out how the game works, they're jaded and it's too late and they're powerless. Okay. But why are you powerless? It's because you got too much debt, son or daughter or mister or Mrs. or Miss or whatever you want to be called. Yeah, that's really just it. So, all right. So, what was the point of this video? Clickbait. That's literally what it was. There is no apology. I mean, when people tell you, that you've helped them so much, what am I apologizing for? There's none, right? I know my demographic. I know people who need to be helped. That's why I teach this stuff over and over again. So, well, that's it for today, folks. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship. And, here's the thing. There's several ways to join what I call the velocity banking cult. And not only do you learn about velocity banking, but you learn about all this other good stuff as well. Click the Google form link below. All you is required is just purchase a Renatus education. and then that'll be it. So yeah, and again, I'm an independent contracted marketer, meaning I make sales off of or commission off of any sales. So you buy from me, you pay me, and if that was your goal in the first place, that's great. And if you wanted to expand your learnings, right? Buy Renatus Education, which is where I originally learned this velocity banking stuff from. All right, well, that's it for today. And I said that like twice, I think, in this video, possibly three times. Have a great day. This is Korean Atlanta Mentorship.